Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got 3 replays in the Western Alliance Era 2 Premium Medium Tank, the Sentinel. If you do like the video as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the Sentinel. This is one of the vehicles that is currently available in the Banners of Valor store. And this is one of last year's Banners of Valor tanks that was actually locked behind the war chests. This year you can get it in the Banners of Valor store for, what was it, 12,500 flags? Which is not too bad. It's a pretty decent tank to be able to pick up. It's a pretty average medium tank, quite honestly, but it's got a bit of uniqueness about it, which is something that we do like, in the fact that it has this double tap autoloader. And this double tap autoloader is indeed very, very nice, as you can go bang, bang, and then get out of dodge, because that's what this tank throws itself into. And that is the ability to basically double tap people and then run, because it's got very good mobility. It's got a very nice handling gun, although to be perfectly honest, this gun loves to troll me, even though it's extremely accurate. It loves to troll me, but generally it's a really accurate gun. It puts out damage. It's not got the best raw DPM in the universe, about 3.5k, but again, with autoloaders, it's not always about the raw DPM output, it's actually more about the burst damage. And as you can see with this, it does have a decently quick intra-click reload, which means you go bang, bang, and you can get out of dodge with your pretty good mobility. But the thing you've got to bear in mind with it is the fact that you don't have much armor. You are basically like the rest of the other French tanks that just sit there going, my armor's a joke to you, so I will shoot you and run away, because that's what it does. It's a very, very fragile tank, but when you get it into a nice supporting position to just keep going bang, bang, it can be very, very nice indeed to be able to play it, and it can be a pretty enjoyable vehicle, honestly. I'll say it's a pretty well-balanced vehicle. It's a pretty average tank in Era 2. But it's just got that bit of something in having the double tap autoloader, because it's not like some of the other vehicles in the era where they're just all the same cookie cutter 105mm guns with nothing special about them. They've got armor that's so-so, they've all got pretty good mobility, they've all got pretty good accurate guns, and they're all very, very samey. This has that little bit extra different about it because of this double tap autoloader, which, you know, makes it worth not playing and definitely worth picking up for free as well, because, I mean, it does make pretty good silver, which is always good. The other issue is you don't have the best of standard pens, so you do have to fight premium at times, especially against vehicles like that, although we're doing alright with the standard rounds, to be fair. But it means that does eat into your profits a little bit with the Sentinel. So, with the Sentinel, with the build that I run, it's got a 68.25km/h top speed, 24km/h reverse speed, 1365 horsepower engine, which is 22.75 horsepower per ton ratio. So the vehicle gets up to its top speed, no problem whatsoever, and it's got a very nice top speed indeed. We have helped it out to get there, but it's pretty nice mobility. You got 1.97 on soft, 1.13 on medium, and 0.94 on firm, which means the terrain resistances are pretty damn solid, and they don't really affect the tank that badly, just like quite a few vehicles in Era 2. Also, these shots that we've had on the Chieftain and the FV4211 really describe the gun for me, where it decides when it wants to work or not, even though statistically it's very, very good. You just sit there going, really, gun? Thanks for that. It's really, really good of you. You got 10% internal fire chance, which is on the low end of fire chances, and it does get set on fire if you get shot in the back end, especially by ATGMs. But that's because naturally ATGMs have high module damage, but other than that, not really set on fire too often. You got a 45.62 degree a second hull rotation speed, a 45.1 degree a second turret rotation speed, which means this tank is actually pretty nicely nimble, which is good for the Sentinel. It can turn left and right very, very quickly with its turret, with its tracks, get its gun snapped on target. It is definitely very nice for that, and again, the nimble feeling is what is so nice about the Sentinel with its mobility and all that good stuff. You got 307 meters of still concealment with the build that I run, 346 meters of on the move concealment, which isn't fantastic camo on the move, but still wise for Era 2, it's not too bad, as there goes our Armour to the ATGMs aforementioned that I talk about. Pure pain. If an ATGM hits you, it's going to do serious damage. That's the way that this tank is, but it's kind of like every other French tank for that. As I finished that first game there with a 5k damage, 1200 assistance, the second class, a very average game there for the Sentinel. But yeah, I actually set up a little bit for camo on this vehicle just to try and stay unspotted that little bit more, just so that I can get shots off a bit longer without actually being spotted. Because while you might be saying, it's Cold War, true vision exists, so camo doesn't matter, camo does matter, because people tend to focus more on tanks that are spotted rather than looking for tanks with true vision. Only once they start getting shot do they look for the tank that they can't see through true vision, but if you can get 1 or 2 shots off, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 shots off before you actually finally get spotted, it can be pretty handy, so I just focus on the camo a little bit for this vehicle. Used to be a bit more relevant pre the crew and equipment changes, but you can still get it down to a decent enough level. You got 553 meters of view range on the Sentinel, and this is why I like the camo, by the way, for this sort of position. But yeah, 553 meters of view range is solid enough. You can spot for yourself quite nicely. You've got a 0.68 accuracy during rotation with a 1.14 accuracy during movement. As a pair, really, really solid. The general bloom on the aim circle of this gun is very, very nice, and that is without a gun stabilizer, by the way. Which means that, yeah, this aim circle doesn't bloom out much at all while you're on the move or turning the tank. It is very, very well stabilised, even without a gun stabiliser. I mean, you don't have to take too long to aim the gun, as it also does have a 1.97 second aim time as well, which means that even if you do bloom out the gun a little bit, it doesn't take too long to get it aimed in. And you've got 0.26 accuracy at 100 metres as well, which is very, very accurate. It means this gun is really, really nice when it wants to be. As you've already seen in the first replay, this gun decides when it wants to work. There is some easy shots at times. You sit there going, well, we're going to hit that, and it just goes, no, I'm going to laugh at you. And you sit there crying as you miss 3, 4, 5, 6 shots in a row, and then you hit the most stupid of snapshots in the universe. That was just a bad shot. I can't blame the gun for that one. That was all me. That was all me. What a terrible clip, you absolute potato. Aim properly, scrub. But there we go. So 8 degrees of gun depression on this vehicle means you are pretty flexible on a ridgeline. It is quite nice for the Sentinel in that regard. You got 13.81 second reload for this 2-shot auto loading clip with a 2-second intra-clip reload. So it takes 2 seconds from firing the first shot to dump both shots, which is nice. 460 alpha on that, so you are talking the 940, 920. Quick maths, alright? It's hard. Leave me alone. 920 alpha per clip. Which means you can do that little burst and then try and pull back into a position where you're not going to get shot. Because as soon as you get shot, naturally, you don't really have any armor. You can ricochet the odd shot, but generally you're not really going to bounce much in this vehicle, so you need to be able to pull back and get safe. You've got 389 penetration on the standard APFS DS, 482 penetration on the premium APFS DS, and 125 penetration on the HE, which has the 570 alpha damage. Now, I don't take the HE because I don't really get much opportunities to be able to use it. I just stick with the standard and premium APFS DS. You got 1450 meters a second shell velocity on the standard, and then 1525 meters a second shell velocity on the premium, which is very, very nice shell velocity for the Sentinel, and that is pretty good. But yeah, that standard pen at 389 is a little bit low. It's not incredibly low, but it's not the best pen in the universe. But when you go to your premium APFS DS and you've got 482 pen, that is very nice, which is good for the Sentinel. And then you've got a 150% silver bonus on top of that, which means you actually do make very good silver in this vehicle, and being an Era 2 Premium, you do make good silver anyway, which is definitely nice for the Sentinel. Also, thank you, gun, for those 2 shots. That was beautiful of you. But yeah, the tank is pretty decent. It's not, again, it's not an amazing tank. It's just one that you go, yeah, it's alright. And having the double shot autoloader is, that was just a bad shot. Having the double shot autoloader is definitely that little bit extra uniqueness for the vehicle that makes it that little bit nicer to be able to play it. So what do I run in terms of a crew and equipment for the Sentinel? Well, I run Born Leader, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Expert Gunner, Camouflage Expertise, Radio Jamming, Clutch Braking, Rapid Aim, Armour Angling, with the Vents, the Improved Concealment, the Turbo, and the Armour Hardening. Armour Hardening in conjunction with Armour Angling to be able to reduce the amount of damage coming to the tank by 10%, as every shot that's going to hit you is going to basically nuke your hit points. Oh, that was a painful jump. The Turbo to be able to get that extra top speed, as this tank is a lot of it about the mobility. Improved Concealment with the Camouflage Expertise to get the camo down as low as possible, so that, again, I can stay unspotted in situations like you saw at the start of this battle. Vents to be able to maximise everything on this tank. Clutch Braking and Rapid Aim to be able to get the track traverse and the turret traverse as fast as possible, so the tank feels a bit more nimble. And then Snapshot and Run and Gun to get the best out of this gun without running the gun stabiliser. As I finished that second game there in the Sentinel, 459,000 silver, that is with the silver booster, but 459,000 silver, the high caliber, the second class, 7.7k damage, 3k assistance. Pretty solid game there for the Sentinel, showing off what it's capable of, until we got stuck in, chased after an XM800T, and yeah, lost half our hit points by just having a small little jump off a ramp, and then was a bit too aggressive, getting ourselves shut down. But it also showed what the Sentinel's like when you do go a bit too aggressive with this vehicle. It's going to get shut down because you don't really have any armor, and it's quite easy to be able to tear it apart in that regard, which is why it is the support vehicle. And then, yeah, with the crew, we also run radio jamming because we want to get unspotted that 3 seconds faster. It's handy for a vehicle like this that, you know, doesn't really want to get shot at too much. So I run that. But again, there's plenty of different ways to kit out this vehicle. You could definitely go without the camouflage. You could just go, yeah, I'm just going to get spotted all the time. Screw it. I'll run something like optics to be able to spot myself that little bit easier. And that will feed your assistance damage and make assistance damage more relevant for you. You could even run something like the missile warning system if you wanted to boost your view range up while also, you know, being able to spot ATGMs as they're flying in, because if an ATGM is coming your way, it's going to pen you and it's going to do some serious damage. As you've already seen with getting self-fire and also, you know, with losing our ammo rack as well in this vehicle. It's plenty of different ways to set this tank up. Again, it's really down to how you want to set it up and how you want to get the most out of the tank, realistically. So, this third replay, we're here on this map, which is Airfield, and we're just set up in a position waiting for people to come into our gun line. Hello, Mr. Type 79. We get shot into his side. I was really hoping to track and pen that guy, but it didn't quite work out. Oh, you poor, poor fellow. Oh, you poor, poor fellow. We're just wait a second, Mr. Bardless. We'll put you out of your misery. In fact, he's going to get shut down by the FV4211. We had to put that poor fellow out of his misery. He's spent God knows how long trying to grind up, get that 30,000 Reggie coins, and then suffer his time in that Bardless. That poor dude. Oh, that's also an XM800. We are very fortunate that XM800T didn't go, hello, friend. I'm here to clip you out. He went for the other dude, and we're going after him. I'm not sure how that went so far behind him, but sure. We get the second shot into the rear of the XM800T, and now we are being looked at by what is the Brennus, I think it is, that's directly in front of us, or the 4AD, whatever it was. It's one of the 30Bs anyway. And so we're just going to back up and not get stuck in front of that guy, because if we do, yeah, well, that's going to be a painful time. We get one shot there into the XM800T as he comes running past yet again, and, well, XM800T does XM800T things and ends up blowing up by crashing. Just make sure we lead that shell correctly there into the BMP-1 and get our first kill of this game. It is 7-7 right now, so this game is actually... it's pretty close. So what I want to do is try and get up on top of this ledge again, where I can get side shots into the BZT-70 and this Conqueror as they cross. So we get back up into this position, get one shot into the lower plate of the Conqueror there, go for the side shot yet again, and it hits the side of the turret there because it actually went quite high. But thankfully, both shots went in. I vacated this position originally, naturally, because the XM800T came screaming past us, and the BZT-70 was also staring at us and waiting for us to go up and try and shoot them. And, you know, I didn't fancy taking a big shot from that BZT-70. That wouldn't be the wisest thing to do. So, yeah. We end up getting penned by the Conqueror, but we also got a shot into them. It's a sad time because the first shot actually bounced. It's where you want to try and out-trade people when you're in that situation, because you can get one in, then you can try and get two in without end up taking a shot in return. Or if you do take a shot, at least you've taken off more hit points than they've taken off you. Unfortunately, I couldn't also finish off that Conqueror as the shot went a little bit low and hit the ridgeline. But the Brennus has gone in on my... is it that shot? That's the shot Cal Gimel, which we're trying to use the distraction. Unfortunately, we only got one there into the Brennus, which is really unfortunate. I'm just keeping my eye on the BZT-70 because I'm fully expecting Mr. BZT-70 to come round and start trying to get some shots into us, and we don't want to, again, we don't want to take the big hits. So we get the double tap there on the move into the 30B2 while still helping out the shot Cal Gimel, while getting ourselves into a safer position where we're going to be away from that BZT-70. So you can see I stop. I go, okay, I've just got to stop here so that I'm not taking a big hit from the BZT, while also focusing on the T-80. And unfortunately, the first shot that we tried to get off towards that T-80 didn't work out, and the second shot bounced off the back of him, which is really unfortunate. So I was keeping my eye on the T-80 while keeping my eye on the BZT-70. At this point, I go, oh no, I think I've taken too long. I think I've taken too long to get away from this guy. And unfortunately enough for me, he fires HE, which means he doesn't pen me. So we get round the BZT, put one shot into his side, and then try and get ourselves out of the way of his gun. And unfortunately, we did end up wasting the first shot because, yeah, we just rushed it because I thought, oh no, I'm going to die. But thankfully, again, BZT-70 didn't do it. He fires this time, which means we know we can double tap the BZT-70 here to pick up our second kill of this game, leaving just one tank left alive, which is the Leopard 1 that is coming in from behind us, who can't actually finish us off in one shot. So I've just got to wait for the reload, and there we go. With the Leopard having fired, we know we can go around. I'm just going to look for that drive wheel. We track and pen the Leopard, and he gets finished off by the M4A. Sorry, the M3A1. I was about to call it M4A1. It's like that would be a Sherman. No, the Bradley. So we finished the game with the 2 kills, 9.5k damage, 241,000 silver there, with the first class and the Confederate medal, the base XP of 1504. Pretty decent game there for the Sentinel, but that's 3 games that show off what this tank is all capable of. It's a vehicle that not many people do have, unless they bought loads of chests last year, and it's now available for free in the Banners of Valor store. So hopefully we'll have some more videos on pretty much all of the tanks that are in the Banners of Valor store, but we're going to focus naturally on the 4 tanks that were brand new last year, and now you can get. So we'll start off with the Sentinel. Next will probably be the SFAT 105. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!